back about 2 years ago, before I lived in a bus, I was still living in downtown Boston.
Wait, I can't see.
Working a corporate job and looking a hell of a lot different. Looking like this. That's my office right there. And I'm never going back there ever again. I thought back then that my capabilities were very, very one-dimensional. Lola, you hungry? You want some M&Ms? So back then I thought I was really good at math. I was really good at all things analytical. Creativity wasn't in my blood. That's what I thought about myself. That's what I was told about myself. And I worked on building a life for myself around those capabilities. What do you think I was like when you first met me? When I was a little hotshot restaurant manager?
You know what it is?
What?
I feel like when I met you, externally, you seemed like you were really happy and you loved your job and, you know, your suit and tie, big shot, sports car driving kind of life. But I knew inside you were craving something more. It was hard for me to notice that at first, but obviously there was something that kept me coming back for more.
Was that chicken noodle soup I brought you on our first date?
It might have been.
Do you think you can get her up here yourself? So I went from being a restaurant manager, working on things like staffing, food cost, labor, profit and loss statements, all that kind of stuff. So then going into marketing for the company, working on stuff like ROIs and banging out Excel spreadsheets like it's no one's business. 2 super highly analytical jobs. So for the both of us, the amount of creativity and the amount of thinking and the amount of like idea generation and anything like that was basically next to none. Wouldn't you say?
For the most part.
Yeah, people told us what to do. We had training materials that we were given with steps that we're supposed to follow. Someone else came up with the ideas and then we just followed through with those ideas and made sure it happened correctly.
Right, totally.
But then when we started doing this, when we started making videos, everything changed because we had to do everything. From coming up with the idea to filming it in an interesting way.
To coming up with the steps on how to actually make it manifest into reality.
Yeah. And it wasn't long into this whole YouTube thing that we realized we were creative. We could make a beat out of the sounds from the construction of our bus. And we took a map and drew a big TV on it with a marker and used it to show our 2-month trip across the country from Massachusetts to California. And those ideas, creative ideas that are unique to you and unique to your own mind, the things that you've come up with, that's what we kind of want to talk about today and how those ideas come about. So for us, what we've learned on this trip is there are moments and there are things that we need to do that allow us to come up with ideas. And if the two of us followed our old routine of waking up early, driving into work, working 8 to 10 hours, fighting through Boston traffic, coming home, and then sitting in front of a screen, or I don't know. What else do we do?
Pretty much it.
Sitting in front of a screen. When we did those things, we weren't creative. There was no idea generation because we weren't allowing ourselves to be.
Right. I think our minds were so consumed by generating, you know, the creativity of others that we didn't
Consuming the creativity of others.
We didn't have the energy or the capability to tap into our own creativity.
Or the determination. It was like, what was the point? Because
we were already so consumed
with our lives.
Right, exactly.
But now there's moments and there's things that we do when we just allow our minds to wander. So to give you an example, today Kaylee filmed a video for her vlog. And while she was filming, I took a little clip on my phone because it was the cutest thing ever.
Any grocery store, and it's pretty reasonably priced. What?
So the whole idea of that video and all the stuff she was going to talk about, she had to come up with.
Right.
So what were you doing when you came up with that video?
I'm pretty sure I was actually driving and the idea kind of just came to me. And that's something that always has been a thing of mine,
Yeah.
Anytime I just go for a drive and I listen to music and I just kind of zen out, it's kind of like my space, my time to meditate in a way. That's when a lot of my thoughts generate, is driving.
Yeah, and for me it's different. For me it's when I run. My brain just starts working. It's like I'm not even seeing where I'm running. It's just like I'm in my own head. And for her it's totally different. For Kaylee it's way different.
And it's totally different for everybody.
Totally.
You know?
And I think that's kind of the point of this whole thing, is like, we've met so many people that have been thought about making videos or whatever, and they're like, you know, I'm not as creative as you. And I think that's so bogus, because I thought the same way. So what we've kind of learned after doing this for a year and a half is to allow opportunities for those creative thoughts to flow, whatever it is for you. Maybe you think really well when you run like me, or maybe it's when you're in the shower. I know that's really common for a lot of people. Or maybe it's when you are driving to work. And this isn't even for just like videos. Maybe you just need like, to think of a creative like present idea for Christmas, for like your son-in-law or your brother-in-law or whatever.
And it could even be as simple as generating or trying to come up with an idea to tackle an issue at work, or an issue in a relationship, or, you know, any situation that you're in. Just trying to figure out a different way to do it, rather than what your automatic way of doing things is.
So this is something we've kind of been talking about a lot recently, because we have to come up with a lot of ideas. For every video that we make, we have to come up with multiple ideas. And if we don't, then there's not gonna be any videos. We've never had to think the way that we think now.
So to tie all of this together, we want to share our experience with an idea that the both of us just had a few weeks ago, and how we're taking the steps to manifest it into reality, and what we're gonna do.
So we can't show you here, so we're heading out of this camping spot and we're driving south.
What we just showed you guys obviously is the destruction of forest fires. That fire in particular was something that just happened last year in 2017. And the reason why we're showing you this is an idea sparked in us when we were up in Alaska, and we actually witnessed a forest fire going on up there, and it made us want to do something about it.
So it kind of planted the seed in Kaylee's mind. And then kind of as she's been driving, she came up with this idea.
So the idea that we have is something that we're very excited to announce to you guys, because it involves actually getting involved and doing something about it, physically doing something about it. So what we want to do is plant 10,000 trees by March of 2019.
So we needed to get a bunch of info to make this happen, because at first we just wanted to go out and just plant the trees ourselves.
Right.
Because working with nonprofits can really be a hassle, but we found a great one that we're gonna work with.
Yes.
They're called One Tree Planted. We've talked to the guys over there a bunch, and they're doing some super amazing work. So they're gonna kind of be our guides for this whole thing. And they're gonna help us host an event in March where we're gonna plant 10,000 trees, and we're hoping some of you, are gonna come and help us.
Yes. So obviously you're probably wondering, how the heck are we going to raise the funds to do this?
And how we're gonna pay for 10,000 trees.
Right.
So you guys know, since we started traveling, we love to make stuff from each area that we go to. So we started off with the bracelets, then we made trash candles, then we made necklaces from Alaska with fool's gold,
Right.
and now we have something else.
We have something else.
And you might have already noticed. Did you think they noticed?
They may have noticed.
You're wearing it right now.
I'm wearing it right now. So it's very, very, very similar to the ones that we created with the fool's gold in them. So within these necklaces, we have little pieces and pebbles of charred stone that we plan on picking up in the areas of the wildfires that we're going to be traveling through for the next few months. And then we put in a little dried flower. It is a real flower, and it's super tiny. And basically what the whole intention of the necklace is to show that although, you know, this destruction is being made, there is still room for growth.
Oh. So this is kind of our first step in part of our fundraising. We're going to start off by selling 100 of these. So we have a stock of 100 of them. We're going to sell them up on Etsy. We're gonna sell them to you guys if you want one. We might try to get into like some trade shows and try to do some farmers markets. And how it all works is every necklace that's sold plants 5 trees. So that money is gonna directly go to our tree planting initiative. And with our hands, and maybe your hands, we're gonna plant 10,000 trees in some place that experienced forest fires that needs some help. So while forest fires aren't always bad, and they're actually a natural cycle that happen, there are certain areas that do need help that was caused by human activity. And that's where we wanna help. And that's why we're bringing in One Tree Planted, because they have that knowledge, they know where to help, they know how to help. And that's why we decided to partner with them on this one. And we're super excited to be partnering with them to help out trees like this that have seen better days.
Yeah.
But for those of you that have been with us for a while, you know that making this whole experience, making this whole adventure that we're on have a bigger purpose than just traveling across the country and seeing amazing things and meeting amazing people. Just having a deeper purpose to this whole thing is so important to us. So if you want to check these necklaces out, the link's in the description. We have 7 different colors, 8 different colors?
I think 7, yeah.
7 different colors of flowers that you can choose from. It might make a good Christmas gift that's coming around for your like hippy dippy granddaughter or niece or whatever. I know I'm gonna give those for Christmas gifts.
So, for sure. So that's all we got for you guys today. We are currently en route to Bend, Oregon. I think we're just gonna be staying there for tonight and then probably making our way somewhere else.
We love you guys.
We love you guys.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching.
And we'll catch you on the flip side.
Catch you on the flip side.